That was a long break, but I feel energetic, I feel revived, I feel refreshed, and I'm ready for some Counter-Strike, some meaty, greedy, grindy bloodbath that's about to happen between Lazarus, born from the dead, and the big frames who have literally never stopped hitting the gym since they were born. Mike, are we ready for this?
I think I'm ready. I've been just raring to go, just biting at the bit. I've just been casting the break in the meantime, rambling in a microphone with nothing around to actually cast. So ready to see some CS, and I'm ready to see some nuke.
Yeah.
Get those observer fingers stretched because it's gonna get wild.
Yeah, it's going to be Mel on the camera for us, bringing us the action. And I think we're almost ready to go. We have about 10 players in the server. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about this matchup. I mean, of course, we've seen both of these teams, play. Not only these teams, but these players. We've watched them for a long time. We've been following them for a long time. We can just go ahead and just jump into the gameplay while we continue this discussion. But I mean, my initial assessment would be this is sort of leaning Lazarus, right? I think we'd all say the same.
Oh yeah. Without a doubt. They struggled against ATK earlier, but that's just a different caliber of team here. I mean, this Lazarus roster should absolutely have no problem dealing with big frames. We saw them play Nuke once earlier in the season. I think they were against, I don't actually remember the roster. I think it was one of the French-Canadian rosters. I don't remember.
Livid, maybe?
I think it was Livid. Absolutely blew them out of the water. And that's kind of just what I expect to see here. But this Big Frames roster is definitely one that can compete. And there's a bit of a change here. Loner is stepping in for T-Connors.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that's just for tonight or whether that's a decision that they're making. We're going to find out, I suppose, later on. But he's going to be saving this round. Trying to get an op up early. Not often you see somebody save on the pistol, but it's going to be a ramp hit, and that's headed Loner's way. Save or no, he's still going to be delivering frags. Takes down Zelsis initially, and he's got support as well. There's a lot of CT bodies ready for this exact play, and they are just waiting for it. Nerf's tucked in on the bomb site itself, waiting for them to round the corner and head towards him. He's looking for heads, but he will find none. He loses his in turn. Fortunately, his teammate Church is in great position to find 3. All on Infinite now in a 1v3. Gonna have to bring it through. 2 opponents are unarmored, so that's a little something to work with here.
But he's also unarmored.
Oh, yes, he is.
Yeah, that is a bit that's a big drawback, especially with these the dualies in Dev's hands. That might be deadly if he takes any shots, and that aim punch might be a little too hard to deal with. But let's see how he plays this out. Right now, he still has a lot of time. Yes, he needs the bomb, which is down on the ramp, but he can take his time. He can work slowly, isolate these targets, and try to find these 1v1s.
Flip side is they're going to be completely patient. They know they've got him hemmed in. There's somebody just watching to make sure he doesn't get up the vents. Maybe he could sneak up and somehow sneak his way around towards Secret. He's going to be clearing out Decon, which is well done for Infinite. So he's isolating potential angles they could be holding. Ooh, what a tap! Gets it on the first, but then those dualies you were talking about come into play and just pepper him with bullets. Eventually knocking his head from his shoulder. That's
okay.
The full brat.
Yeah, so we're back on track. Big Frames, they secured that round pretty much with the ramp entries, especially with Church's 3K. And Church is always a kind of a fun pistol player to watch. I've seen so many clips of this player just getting crazy pistol rounds. So Lazarus now unable to get the bomb plant means they'll likely just be saving up Glocks, single flashbang in the hands of Infinite, who has found himself a kill, so he can't afford it. But besides that, I think this is a Big Frames picking up a second here easily.
There's the first mop-up kill. Should be pretty smooth. No reason to get too hasty. They're going to push someone up a little bit forward into trophy room, but Nerf doesn't want to go beyond that smoke, so he's just going to pepper some bullets and basically hang out. Chill out. Chill with his team. This should be very smooth sailing for the Big Frames. The question for Lazarus is just, can they do any damage here? That single pop flash through this door, presumably. They're already getting peppered through the door in turn. Church trying to knock a little window in it. He's going to find a frag, but there the clip runs out for Church, but they're down the vents. Maybe a chance to sneak out a bomb plant. No flash available for them now, and I think someone's gotten down ramp, so Nerf's going to ruin their dream. No chance to get those numbers punched in. It is a clean second round for the Big Frames.
Yeah, nice awareness there from Nerf as well to just go straight to the B bomb side. Don't even give them a chance to get that bomb plant. Now, as Lazarus, yes, they have a purchase, but they will not be actually, I was just about to say they don't have any scoped weapons, but Swag picks up the SG, so okay, a good trade-off.
Uh-oh.
Oh, have we lost a player? Is this a pause?
Loner just finitoed. Paul's coming in. Nerf spamming the candle in chat. Tribute to Loner. Hopefully we'll get him back in just a moment. His rifle is down on the ground, so that should be retrievable, no problem. But we're going to have to see how that works out.
You know,
We got a little bit of timeout coming in.
yeah, what I'm also thinking about as well is that if big frames do have a chance in this matchup, it's probably going to be on a map like Nuke, right? If you can get that CT side rolling, if you can get, you know, an overperformance on one of the sides, I think you kind of tip the scales in your favor a little bit, or at least try to balance it out as best as you can. Now, big frames, this is sort of a bonus round for them. Yes, they have a lot of SMGs left over, which are very viable on a map like Nuke that, you know, has all these close range angles and all these up close duels that you can find. And they have a lot of utility on hand, so I imagine they are going to be coming into this round with some sort of play, as you know, these types of rounds are pretty typical on the CT side, so I imagine they do have some things discussed and ready to be executed. But Loner is back, weapons on the ground, and he's ready to go. I think you lose your armor though, right? Yeah, you lose your armor, that sucks. And your
He's got
utility.
enough money to buy it back. He should have reserves. I'm not sure what exactly they're doing, but they're on pause, and so they're going to get into it. One thing I'm going to be interested to see here, right? One thing that we saw out of Lazarus in the first game of the night was that there were some cracks, particularly in the CT side. The T side tended to be a lot stronger, just sort of in coordination and team play. Those little details that tend to get ironed out as the roster goes on. Be interested to see if that comes to bear here on Nuke. I mean, you'll see it more prevalently on the CT side, presumably, but against big frames, maybe a little less intimidating competition than ADK. We'll see if maybe that comes back to haunt them a little bit. Presence already taken towards trophy room, so a little bit of space gained here and utility to back it up as well to make sure they're going to have it. But the remainder of the T's have gotten down secret already. They are advancing towards that lower bomb site, and there's no one really positioned to receive them at all. Welshi will get down to at least be a bit of a welcoming party, but he should not be much. They start to round onto his position. I think he's been spotted. Celsius comes out the worst on that spray, but manages to turn it around. Welshi will eventually get found out, and that should be a bomb plant secured.
Yeah, look at Sabrosa's position right now. He's on the lurk position. He's denying the rotations down the vents, which is obviously a crucial piece for the CT rotates, and he's now made this advantageous. And not only that, but actually he gets caught off by Church, so that definitely helps a lot. It alleviates a lot of the pressure, and they know that Zelfs is down here wounded as well, so I imagine they are going to be attempting this, but Nerf is just full blind holding W, and Swag doubles down with the SG. Clean taps, clean kills, and Lazarus picks up the first gun round with 4 players alive. Now again, that was a bonus round, so if Big Frames opt to save, it will only be a single one here.
Swag with just a nice 2-step there. So 1 left, 1 right, headshot, headshot. Very nicely done with the Creek. The funny thing about the SG is some players really, like, it's an easy spray pattern, but it's not the same as every other gun. So if you don't have that awareness of the spray pattern, it'll kind of buck you sometimes. Swag clearly has been working on that, and Infinite's certainly been working on his AK spray pattern for as long as he's been gaming. Ooh. Well, she just sticking out of that smoke. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah,
just his hands were sticking out, gave it all away. That's always a bummer. Lose yourself in the smoke. You don't quite know what they can see. So that should be another bomb plant. This should be a very clean round out from Lazarus. We'll see if Big Frames can really find any damage on the periphery. Dev has the one shotty. That's a gun now down and retrieved. A rifle for Church. That's worth saving, without a doubt.
Yeah, I think the remaining players, Loner and Dev, will likely just go for a hunt, but they don't know that Swag is this close, right? They have an idea that somebody might have aggressed. Oh, wait, Dev's busting from the side. That's 1 kill. He could get a second one at the Sabrosa right here if he's not careful enough. And Sabrosa's like, nah. I'm not playing that. I have up-close angle against the shotgun. I'm backing out a little bit. Smart decision. Keep your AK. Infinite's coming in on the flank. Church has already been taken out, so that's one of the AKs gone. And now Infinite is not letting this... There it is. Cleaned up.
Cleaned up, but at least a couple kills brought through at the end. They're one with a shotgun too, so
yeah, that
that's a
helps.
nice little 900. That's some cheddar. That's an extra nade set, or at least a couple of them. So now it's going to be looking like a little bit of a better buy. Some AUGs out where before you might have seen M4s. There's a single SMG on Loner. He's going to be taking that utility hit. New man on the block frequently does. And it looks like Lazarus want to establish some outer control early. They've got a player up on the silo. They got players taking control towards red box. They are just going to methodically clear this. And there is no op to contest them. So they should have a pretty decent time of doing so.
Yeah, it's a bit of a different culture change now, isn't it, from Lazarus? They're whipping out the AWP as early as possible. Zelfs finds a nice opening frag, but he's immediately traded out by Dev. So 1 for 1, not too shabby. But now Infinite's actually found himself a second kill. And this actually weakens the A defense quite a bit as they're now isolated from each other. And Zapper removing the support for the A site. That's Welshi gone down. So now they're at a 2-man advantage. And they're probably looking at hit this A site where they know there's only 1 player here.
Yeah, this is tough for Dev. There's no chance to even get out. He is committed to the fight, and Swag's going to put a bullet through Infinite to find Dev. Straight through his teammate to find the frag. The equalizer shot takes him down. Lazarus claimed their 3rd round. Keep 3 alive as well. You know, sometimes you just need a little blood sacrifice to make sure you're not going to miss, right? So this is going to be a rough round. Single nade, flash, some upgraded pistols to try and work with here. Big frames after a nice little start off the back of the pistol round. Now decidedly on the back foot. And against a team like Lazarus, that's just going to really be tough to get your momentum back. Get your right foot facing forward and really try and reclaim ground.
Yeah, look how far Infinite is right now. I don't know if you realize it, but he's all the way down below. He's already down all the way. And it's just a matter of whether his team can get to him or not before they die to these pistols. Now, Sabrosa's found one, but he's traded out by Church. So that is an AK to work with. And there's a lot of pressure on Swag, and he gets to keep his life at least. Going for the duel, but will not be found. But they already have full B control, so this is likely a round secured already. It's just a matter of how clean can they make this chaos, right? This is pure chaos at this point.
Just looking to make it expensive. As these smokes fades, Welshie should get a chance for pop shots with this Deagle. I mean, they've already got 1 AK. That's certainly worth saving through. But the question is can you find any more party favors? They're kind of hemmed in. Infinite will build a little bit of space, and that clears out the ramp room, actually. So now they've got their escape secured. Dev lurks in wait by the secret steps, but they don't have any reason to test him. They can just flee towards ramp. They can get the heck out of dodge. They can make sure they keep all these guns up. And that's exactly what they'll do. No chance for Dev. At least Church can bring through that 1 AK-47.
Hey, that still helps.
Every little certainly does help. They can get guns up now. Well, it would still require someone to go glass cannon. Or they can get ops out, rather. They are going to get full rifles. I don't think they're going to invest in the AWP, so it will be just rifles across the board. Lots of utility this time around. We'll see how they choose to put that into effect. They have had some trouble contesting Swag's op early on, or at least contesting the long-range angles, so I would expect to see that AWP out at some point.
Yeah, look right now. Well, she's starting to step into enemy territory. He's been spotted from above by Sabrosa, but that's not a duel that Sabrosa usually loses, so he will find the opening frag, and that is not only a kill, but full outside control as well. Now, Loner is behind the AC vents towards that CT spawn area, kind of under hell. There's like some vision at least keeping tabs on whether they cross into Secret or not, but Lazarus is not done. Yeah, they want more control, so they're going to smoke off Mini, cut off the support to Loner, and try to isolate him here outside. They just have to figure out where he is. That's the big thing.
Loner, oh, the timing. He had the angle and he just pulls off it at the wrong moment. Now he doesn't want to take that fight at all. Celsius is just there to bait. Dapper is now chasing, and Loner is running as fast as he very well can. I think he hears the footsteps. He's certainly feeling them deep in his core that they might be coming his way. So it's going to get very eerie. I think it's more faster.
Wait, he had the information they were up close. How are they not aware of that at all? That's a big, big mistake there from the big frames.
Very confused about how that all just transpired in towards hell and heaven. They weren't exactly being subtle about it.
Yeah, no, not at all. They were up close on him. He knew that. I think that's what happens when you kind of use a stand-in, right? Especially on a map like Nuke, which requires so much communication and cohesion on the CT side. Probably just a miscomm there. Maybe he just didn't think the timing would be that quickly. Regardless, it is a round for Lazarus, making that chaos work for them well. And that was a clean gun round. 5 players alive, and now big frames are down to just an AUG, scout, upgraded pistols, a shotgun, and a deagle. Not the best of items for a map like Nuke, but let's see if they can make it work. It's not working out well. Swag and Sabrosa have already found the double opening kills towards the ramp area. Now Welsh is doing what he can, but it's a scout versus an op, so he will not be winning that as well. And it's all down to Loner and Church.
Got a couple nice early tags. Maybe that lets something convert, but it's just going to be Church, who is tucked down below on the steps in the lower site, and he's really going to have no opportunity. They should have the upper site completely confirmed, secured, no problemo. Dump that last little bit of utility to make sure nobody's going to be able to give them a rude surprise, and it really is just Church with the one bought-up gun of the round, who's presumably just going to try and keep it in his hands. Got a nice office chair. Maybe it's just time to take a seat, think about things, reflect, Trying to figure out what they're going to do differently next round.
I mean, he's in the control room, but they don't have any control of this game at all, Mike.
Not at all. Not in the slightest, Roy. I mean, this... Again, they got 2 rounds off of pistols, and since then, they have just looked out of their depth. They have looked like they are drowning and trying to get a breath of oxygen. Church at least will be able to save this. He drops 2 on the chase. Third, though, and he will stand up to the task, so good play from Church. Hey, gun up, and then died a bomb. Sometimes, you know, death, it's just inevitable. So they throw some guns at him, they do enough damage to take him out. No rifle saved.
I mean, luckily for them, the economy has recovered enough so that they can pump out a purchase right here. But there are still a lot of options that Big Frames has not exhausted yet. There's still this, you know, the secret peek off the flashbang they can do. There's still like the kind of the off angle and big garage that they haven't ran yet. The triple outside setup. There's so many options available here for Big Frames. I'd like them to kind of do something here with it, but it's gonna be Swag finding the opening pick on ramp with the AWP. That flashbang is effective, but Loner cannot find the kills. So Big Frames once again fighting uphill.
So majorly uphill. This was the double op investment as well, so this was a big swing. Nerf took one of those ops over to ramp and just got destroyed immediately. Now Welshie has a glass cannon op, and you've got to imagine he's saving it at this point. Dev's done some damage, though. That might tempt them back in, and now it looks like they're willing to fight. Big Frames recognizing the situation, recognizing they've got to get some rounds on the board. They are going to contest. They are here, and they're ready for it. It's just a little bit of a tricky setup to do so. So we'll see what they can find. Utility Beast jumps into sight to buy some space, and that's a big kill to find from Dev. Welshie follows it up. It's all going to be on Sabrosa, who's got positioning, but has to go back through the smoke, and it's really going to come down to timing. They don't have kits, so if he just finds enough to push one player off the bomb, it should be the round. And it is planted open. There's the shot. I think there's still time.
Wait, is there time?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, that's going to be a close one, Mike.
I don't think so.
Oh. He's got it. He's got it.
He's got it. Oh, the last second.
0.2.
4K. How did you do that?
Yeah, I mean, Dev is really stepping up right now. I mean, look at the score real quick. Loner's at 0 kills. Nerf just got his first kill, I think, that round. Oh, no, I don't think he did, actually. He got taken out early by Swag. But look at the kill differences right now. It's really just Church doing the heavy lifting for the Big Frames. I mean,
still, though, that was the double op investment, and they got half second.
Yeah.
If that.
Yeah, if there's a round to go big on for Dev, that was it right there. Right, he's on the board now. He's shown his face, and he's won a very important crucial round for the Big Frames. And now it is chaos. Lazarus is already down the vent. Rose is holding it down. Again, that's a big critical piece for the CT movement. So that really limits them in how they can maneuver around the map.
Once again, Welshie's glass cannon, that's just, that's tough to sustain for a lengthy period of time. They've got double XMs as well. This is going to have to get creative in a big way, but with players down the secret steps, with players down the vents, they are all over this map. I mean, it's just like worms. They're in every possible crevice. How do you possibly dig them out if you're Big Frames? At least there's a little bit of control towards the trophy room. That's going to be Nerf trying to get up close and personal with his shotgun. But what will it matter if the lower site's already lost?
I mean, luckily for Big Frames, they do have one piece still up on the B site. That's Loner. He's kind of in the corner of the bottom B site. He can get support from Welshie. It might be a little bit too late if he's not able to survive long enough, but he still has the element of surprise, right? His position is not yet compromised, and every second here, Big Frames are gaining information here towards that A site.
Okay, couple of auto-shotting kills in a row. There's the third from Loner. He cracks that goose egg, gets on the board, and a nice 2K out as well.
There
and the third to clutch it. That's exactly what the doctor ordered. A clean round for Big Frames. All 5 alive. They could have had the double up if they wanted, though. I think Loner swapped back to the AK at the last moment. But they are going to have a full buy moving forward. And they've got a little bit of respite as well.
Yep, a flawless win keeps the ecos away, Mike. That's what the doctor said.
I think that was on the wall of my my position the last time I was there.
Yeah, me too, actually.
4 round a day keeps the ecos away. I like it.
But Big Frames, now they're showing signs of life. They're waking off that performance from Dev. That's really all you need sometimes, right? Is that war cry. One of these players to step up. But Swag finds Welshie completely unsuspecting. And man, Welshie was just not ready for that option at all. He got completely sidelined right there. Now Lazarus, once again, they've been taking outside control amazingly. They have not really been contested that heavily outside yet. And they're going to keep doing it. Why not? What's working is working.
I there's the spot as well. You just see that check from Loner.
Yeah.
As soon as he knows, he's like, all right, I don't want to deal with that. Let me make sure I'm not getting flanked from ramp. It's just the fear of God is in these players. And how can it not be? Dapper just hopping off in the hut just to find a frag. I mean, they are just having their way. It's a playground. Dev, I like this aggression, but Infinite expects it. Won't matter, though. Dev wins out the duel. And here's a little bit of an answer from Big Frames. There's still a man down, but they've done some damage. They've bullied back a little bit of space, and Nerfed has worked his way in towards Secret. So that could be the thorn in these T's side if they can't quite figure out where to go. But it looks like it's going to be a crunch on towards A. There's players surrounding the site. There's players in towards lobby. They could just make this move if they'd like to. Sets us up in heaven as well. This is going to be critical. Oh, never mind.
Man, Dev is an absolute beast right now. This man's taking everything on his own shoulders. Now Church finally chimes in, picks up a second kill as well to help Dev out. But what a round from Dev. Man, you have to give this guy credit. He's the one equalizing these rounds. He's the one swinging them into their favor. And he's really a big piece as why Big Frames are even competitive in this half right now. So props to him. Lazarus now, finally, they are seeing the ends of that cash mountain. It's deteriorating, Mike. It's getting smaller by the second.
This is interesting. We've got a game on our hands here, Roy. 5 rounds. I mean, admittedly, it's the CT side of Nuke, right? Which is typically very powerful. But still, battling it back. Big Frames sort of answering the questions. Maybe not in this round, though, as Zelsa is just bullying his way straight in. They are going to trade out one player, but the smoke will secure passage towards the ramp if they'd like. And they will indeed. Church should have the angle here. There's the first. Might find more as well. He will indeed as they just feed in one by one. But a smoke now in will cover off his position. It's just going to be Infinite and Swag. We've got players closing in from the ramp side and need to get a move on if they're going to have a chance to take the ground. Infinite somehow survives. Hops his way away from the spray. And now this gets interesting. He's lost his teammate. It's all on Infinite. He's going to find the first, but he'll immediately get caught from behind. And that is the round for Big Frame. 6-6 now. We are tied up, Roy.
Yeah, I don't even know. Can I get a check on the economy here for loss bonus? I think they might. Yeah, they're going to be at that buy range with that bomb plan. That's helped them out immensely. So Lazarus will be pumping out a purchase. But a 9-6 finish here is still within their hands. This could be the turnaround that they need. Now, 9-6, that's pretty good for Nuke on CT side, all things considered.
That's very respectable. Against a team like Lazarus, that would be wonderful.
Definitely.
I think Big Frames would be counting their lucky stars. They're going to try and get it going here. They've got the off as well, which we haven't seen available to them that much. It's mostly been Welshie picking up when he does. Loner's getting aggressive in towards the hut. And Sabros is right on the other side. He's getting tagged up. Loner survives, but just for a moment, and the Molly's going to prevent him from escaping. That is such a tough spot now for Loner. Close up with the shotty up. Doesn't want to fade away because he's afraid someone's holding the angle, so he's kind of just committed, at least for the moment. As I say that, he slips away.
Now, Welshie's in a pretty unconventional position as well, so he actually could be an X factor in this round. I'm not going to expect a player to just be crouched behind that blue box, and he could peek off flashbangs. He could, catch a player off guard. It's not an angle that you typically hard clear. And now with that taking contact, it's going to open up the opportunity for Welshie, but he gets destroyed by Dapper. No chance to fight back. But it's even up, 1 for 1. But they know Lazarus is heavily outside, so they could take control elsewhere if they choose.
Nice pick from Swag, and there's the follow-up as well. They're losing bodies towards that upper site. Dev is now the last bastion, and Dapper is looking straight for him. As soon as he peeks around that door, Dapper is going to have him dead to rights. He's trying to paint him into a corner, trying to figure out which corner that's going to be. But they should be a pretty solid round. For Lazarus, I say that. Nerf's now found a flank. He's caught Swag off guard, and that's going to send a little bit of paranoia Infinite's way. But having that Heaven player taken away means that Infinite can now focus all of his attention on towards Nerfed, and means Nerfed no longer has a chance. 6-7, no more 9-6 possibility here for the CT side, but they still have a chance to battle back. The economy is good for the Big Frames, and they're going to be buying right back into it.
Yeah, and they have every single weapon they need, right? They have the AWP, they have the AUGs now, they have a kit available for Church, they have almost full utility, they're lacking a couple of Molotovs, but that's not a big deal. You still have enough to control their early pace here, but I really would like to see Big Frames take away that power of the outside from Lazarus, right? It's been their cookie cutter, just go outside, dominate them, take control, find the picks. If that's taken away from Lazarus, I can only imagine it might throw them off just a little bit.
Nerf's gonna have an opportunity here. Oh, And the opportunity is lost. Swag comes right his way. And that, I mean, that man has not been missing much tonight. Swag is on point with the AWP. The whole team across the board just doing quite well. No real weak links here. And they're showing why. Now pushing their way in towards the lower site. There's no one really in position to contest from the CTs. It's going to be a full retake situation. And now coming down onto round 14, a decision has to be made. Are they going to battle for this? Or are they going to keep themselves healthy and try and get that 7th round on the board?
Yeah, I think it's really going to depend on what happens in vents and ramp right now. So Dev's already made his way down. He could find someone here. Church is already kind of maintaining control of control. They just need to figure out how they can get these players out there. But look at Zelsis. Yeah, he's on that alert. He's found himself 1 and 2 kills. He's eliminated that pinch on site. And that's pretty much it right there. They have to fall back now. They have no choice. They've lost their strength. They've lost their split opportunity. Now they need all the money they can get. But they're being hunted down by hungry Lazarus players, Mike. I don't know if they hold on to this one.
What a massive flank from Zelsis. Still, they've got 2 players. That's enough of a reinforcement. They might be able to survive. Dev is now got a little bit of an off angle, but Zelsis on a tear right now, just punching his frags. Going to chase Dev right down. Spotted his gun barrel peeking around the corner. It's 4 kills in total for Zelsis, and he's just making sure there are no survivors. After the initial engagement, he just goes into full Terminator mode. It's like the last humans on this map will be eliminated. Starts tracking them down.
Hey,
now it's looking like it's going to be a 9-6 the other way, Roy.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. This is a round that heavily favors Lazarus. And look at also the score difference here between these two teams. Like, the kill spread is so telling, right? Now, the early utilities coming out here, it's successful for Big Frames, but they've lost control of vents, something they have not found a solution to yet. Now, Swag has the AWP as well, so if anyone tries to go down the vent, they might find some, you know, themselves dead with an op shot in the chest. No big deal, but right now, Big Frames are limited. Yeah, they're a man up, but they have nowhere to move. Look at this.
Oh, that's a big kill to find. Sabrosa gets traded out. There's still a man advantage here for the Big Frames. There's something to work with. An AK retrieved onto Welshi as well. They're getting a little bit more. Each kill brings them an upgrade, right? And each kill is another body that can't quite go exploring. That's a big flank, though, for Dapper. Swag cleans it up as well, and now the numbers have flipped. What was looking so promising for a moment is turned on its head. Church, though, has an AK. Maybe he can put this gun to work and find some magic.
Yeah, if I'm Lazarus right now, I just keep walking into secret. There's no one really there to, one, figure out that you're doing that except Church, unless he peeks out. But he will have to risk his life, and there it is. Dapper, Sabrosa have taken out Church. Now Dev from above finds one with the P2000, but there's still another player right there. But Swag does not want to risk the bomb, but he's going to go back for the op duel. Rightfully
yeah,
so.
I mean, op on PTK.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I'm okay. It's like he ran into secret and then thought for a second, was like, wait a minute. He's shooting at me with a pistol.
Yeah, why am I running?
This is going to be all right.
Yeah,
guys.
definitely. But yeah, look at the score for Big Frames, right? They have 19 kills for Church, Dev at 14, and then it's 3-3-3. Then you look at Lazarus, and it's 12-9 from top to bottom.
It really is just a very top-heavy affair on Big Frame's side. They need, this is like, they just worked arms. They worked arms every day in the gym. Their legs are atrophied. Their chest is terrible. I mean,
it's a
they
nightmare
need to
to me, Mike.
spreading out that workout.
You trying to give me anxiety here?
Right now. You know, I just like to keep you on edge. It's a nice kill from Nerf, but he wasn't expecting the second in the position. So heads are getting popped, and unfortunately, most of those heads are Big Frames. It was not quite working out, but Dapper will get caught putting a clip in his gun. So now there's opportunity. A follow-up frag as well. Swag's on high. He's going to be relied on to do the heavy lifting for his team, but as per usual, he is up to the task.
Wow.
And that is 3 quick shots for Swag to find the pistol round and dash the hopes of Big Frames here in the second half.
And the confidence to do that without any armor as well. That is just insane from Swag. This man's a machine.
It's always the smoothness of his movement. He just drops down, boop, finds the first kill in towards Hut, boop, finds the second. I mean, he just makes it look easy.
Yeah, he's not really the type of player that misses out on opportunities. Now, Lazarus looking to dominate early on. Zeus is looking for those easy frags. Unarmored opponents just block. Okay, and not a single kill goes his way. That's unfortunate, but Sabrosa, I don't think he'll be making that same mistake.
They're maybe playing this a little fast and loose, though. Dapper's now susceptible. He'll still find the frag. He's looking for more. Sabrosa playing Sniper's SMG outside. Gonna have a very unarmored target in just a moment. But Loner and Church both have SMGs now. Maybe something to work with. They're chasing that bomb down towards the lower bomb site. Just to see who's gonna get it. And it turns out it's going to be the CTs. All just Loner, who's now known. His position is compromised, and no armor, 11 HP, an MP9. What's he going to find out?
Death.
Find out that life is cruel, Roy.
Yeah.
Life is cruel.
Sometimes you're having a terrible day, Mike, and it just gets worse, you know? But there is a silver lining, even with all the darkest of days, Mike. They have weapons now. They have AK-47s to light up their way to victory, and hopefully they can make it count right now. Lazarus, this is a moment of weakness, right? Lazarus, they're using this opportunity as a bonus. Let's keep these SMGs. Let's get a shotgun up. I've died with an MP9. Don't have a lot of money. Of course, a very viable weapon. And Lazarus is taking those duels, taking those risks outside, not rewarded with anything except a little bit of damage. But there is a contingency plan, and that contingency plan has been discovered.
Rose's position compromised. The flash comes in, though, to bail him out of it. And that's exactly what the doctor ordered. He finds one. Nade's sailing in to do a little bit of damage. He's trying to retrieve a rifle, which he will be able to. It's turning into a massacre outer. And somehow the rifles are losing. The AKs are dropping to XMs and MP9s. How is this falling apart for Big Frames? You figure in a shootout outside, they'd have every advantage, especially when the AUG goes down early. But now the upgrades have come through, and it's just going to be Welshie on the other side, who's trying to find a space back in to try and get that bomb and to try and find a team a little bit of room to rumble.
Yeah, this is a tough task here for one man. The only silver lining I see is that, well, he's given a free kill by Sub Rosa, but he still has to find these two remaining players. Dapper's not making this easy. He's playing behind the box, completely undiscovered yet. But he might give away. Okay, that was well played. I like that by Dapper. Just ring around the Rosie and catches them off guard from the side. So Lazarus do pick up an important round. A bonus round is successful. And, you know, I hate to say it, but whenever you win a bonus round, it really throws the other team, you know, deeper into the hole.
Especially when you just took a straight fight outside with inferior weaponry, right? It's not like you know, you tricked them and they came around corners, you got them with pistols or MP9s or whatnot. You were sniping them down with SMGs outside. Like, that shouldn't really have worked. It did. They made it work. And now they're looking to make more work. Infinite finds the first pick. It's just going to be pistols in this round, and they are running out of opportunities. They really need some miracle peak shots here. Someone to rip heads, and that's a nice start for Dev. This is a man who's always deadly with a deagle in hand. We'll see what he can do in this round. He's going to have to do a lot for his team to get back into it.
Let's see what these Deagles can do. Yeah, these are all such hard duels.
I was optimistic for a moment. Well, she finds one more. It's consolation prize, right?
Yeah, Deagle against M4, I have hope. Deagle versus AUG, not as hopeful. Now, luckily for Big Frames, they have themselves some weapons. But the deficit here is very, very troublesome. That's the way to put it.
Yeah, that's a polite way. That's the nice way. At this point, I don't know that any frame is big enough to mount this comeback when your opponent is on the favored side and is a strong team like Lazarus. But it is still in the realm of possibility. It's just going to take a bit of a miracle. And whoo, that miracle's going to get a lot tougher when Swag's hitting shots through smoke like that. I mean, he sees the volley come out, and his brain goes to calculating, all right, this is the position that player's going to be in. And Swag just taking the round in hand, going to dominate the competition. It's a clean round for Lazarus. A couple big opening picks from Swag, and the rest of the team just escorts this round straight to the W column.
You're going to need to call Hulk to get you out of this hole now. This is a tough hole to claw yourself out of. I mean, just look at the kills for Big Frames. 6, 4, and 4. All these bottom 3 players don't even come close to the top scoring player. He has their kills combined plus like 50%.
Zelsis has been getting very aggressive outer, and he's gonna lose his life once again. It's a 1-for-1 trade. I'm not sure that that's the best algebra to be working with, but he's perfectly comfortable with it. Swag's hopping around like he's got a pogo stick, just trying to find some sort of a kill outside. He might just do it in a moment here. He's looking. He wants to give him the haircut. Oh, there's the shot. He actually misses. Uncharacteristic for Swag, going for the wall bang through the full container as well. They're going to find some space in sight, but it is just Church. The man who got away will be dug up by his teammates instead. Lazarus now on map and match point, and Big Frames are going to have a broken bye to try and contest it. It would take 9 rounds in a row, Roy. 9 rounds in a row. and they haven't been able to get one.
Listen, I'm already scared to say what I'm about to say. Okay, terrified if anything. But if they do this, if they make the miracle run 9 rounds in a row, I will skip leg day for 24 hours, Mike.
24 whole hours?
Yeah,
well, that's gonna be pretty tough for them. They've already lost 2 players. They've lost 4 of their legs. That's hard. Now they've lost 8 of their legs. This is looking rough. Welshi all alone, his own 2 legs. He's gonna have to stand strong here, and a player standing in the flames is gonna be the one to claim the frag. They are just chasing him down and spraying his life out of it. Lazarus take a dominant victory on Nuke. It looked like Big Frames might make a game of this for little portions of it, but unfortunately, when it came to the stretch, Lazarus just showed pound for pound they are more up to the task.
Yeah, I think it's one of those cases where, you know, player for player, I think Lazarus is just a little bit better. You know, I hate to say it that way, but on the other hand as well, Big Frames don't have T-Connors. Now, we don't really know if this is a roster change. We don't really know if this is a stand-in. I'm not quite sure. I'm sure I'll know on Twitter in a little bit once I start, you know, poking around, see what's going on with their roster. But you know, Nuke is one of the hardest maps to play without, you know, the 5 players on the same page. It's one of those maps that requires extreme coordination at all times on both T side and CT side. A little bit more on the CT side, as there are just so many things that are possible, right? But I mean, Lazarus, they took an L earlier today and they bounced back beautifully. I'm happy to see that their communication was flowing, their confidence was, you know, through the roof. So I'm happy to see them maintain that form even after such a tragic loss at 16-14 to ATK earlier. But congratulations to Lazarus. I think they've almost secured themselves out playoffs. I think they need one more win to definitely secure it, which I don't imagine they'll be struggling with, considering they have about 3 more matches to play, if I have the ideas correctly. I think you know, at the end of this week we'll have an updated score page that we'll go over with everyone in the beginning of next week to kind of, you know, keep you up to date with what's happening in every single group, as we, you know, we have 32 teams in NA, 32 teams in EU. That's a lot of teams. But that is it for us tonight, guys. Thank you for tuning in. It's been a great day of CS. I wish we could have had some more for you guys, but unfortunate turn of events. But that is it. If you haven't done so already, please follow our socials to stay up to date with everything happening within Winners League, as well as win.gg. That includes Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch that you can find it by typing !socials in the chat, as well as Mike's and my own down below. These are @ on Twitter. We would love your support. We would love your undying love. But that is it for us. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will see you guys tomorrow for some more NA action. Good night.
I've been keeping myself so busy, pushing out the misery, trying to find the peace in me. I wanna be, I wanna find myself, but again, it's always a phase. I wanted to stay, no you don't understand. I've been losing myself, I've been losing myself. I've been keeping myself so busy, pushing out the misery, trying to find the peace in me. I wanna be, I wanna find myself, but again, it's always a phase. I wanted to stay, no you don't understand. I've been losing myself, I've been keeping myself so busy,